I love how as soon as the evenings start to draw out, how it affects my productivity. So it's really windy today. We've had a bit of storm Isha, but it's not been too bad here. And it's 4:20, and there's still quite a lot of light in the sky. It's cloudy, but there are patches of blue sky, and you can see that there is still quite a lot of light. So those nights are already starting to draw out. And today it was warm enough for me to tackle that dress that I started when I was doing my Etsy vlog, and it was warm enough so my hands weren't that cold, and the light was good today. So I've got that finished. It's only a prototype. I like the idea of it. I don't like the fabric. It's too chintzy for me. But it may well be something that I end up just wearing around the flat on really hot days, because it's quite a nice light fabric. And now that I've made it, and now that I know how it hangs and how it works, I can go into town, have a look at fabrics and find something that I think will be good, and then make myself a proper one in a fabric and a colour that I like. And it may be something that I can then add to the shop once I've had a chance to see how prototype number 2 works. But I'm actually quite pleased with it. It's got really nice big deep pockets in it, and I think it works really well as a grafted version of the top that I was doing. It's just so simple to make. You know, I could get one of those out in a day if I was really focused and I had the time to do it. So maybe that's another product I can add to my shop this year, if anyone buys anything. It's still really slow. You can see online that people just aren't looking. Of course, it's January. It's the longest, it's the first month after Christmas, and people will have been paid probably just after Christmas, and they're paying off their Christmas bills. So January is a long, extra long, it's a 5-week month, and no one's got any money. So you don't expect people to be buying stuff in January. But you can tell that the traffic's a bit down. There are some window shoppers, people living in hope that they'll be able to afford stuff, I guess. But I don't expect any miracles anytime soon. We'll see how February looks. I think that we're in this for the long haul this year. I don't think this is going to be a good year for businesses. The inflation, I think they said it had gone up. Prices are still slowly crawling upwards. Not as fast as before, but they are still incrementally going up. It's going to be a really tight year, and I think especially the rest of winter is going to be pretty disappointing. So I'm coasting. I've got all my multiple side hustles. YouTube is now earning me an income, so that's a new income stream for this year already. And I actually feel remarkably positive about this year financially. I'm wondering if I could find one more side hustle. I've either got to find one more side hustle or get the business to make me more money. I think I've got more chance of getting another side hustle at the moment, but we'll see how we go. It's still looking better financially than last year. If I look at my predictions already for this year, I'm happy with the direction that things are going, so I'm not going to worry. Anyway, I have got a lamp on in the front room, as you can see, but I'm using the light from outside. So the nights are drawing out, and that's really exciting, because that means spring will soon be here. Exciting stuff. Well, here we are, another Tuesday evening, another Morrison's haul. It is blowing an absolute hoolie out there tonight. I think all the bins will be over in the morning. Bin day tomorrow. Not good timing. Right, so we have things from Morrison's. Today we spent a grand total of £3.72. What did we get? I got that coconut Alpro again. I really like the coconut Alpro. Was 150, down to 38p. Got some cheese. Cambozola. Was 267, now 67p. £2 off, that's not bad. More of those protein puddings have appeared on my Cashback app. So another chocolate protein pudding. Haven't eaten the last one yet, but they're good till I think the second week of February. Ready to cook vegetable soup kits. Used to get loads of these at one time. My freezer used to be stuffed with these. This was 99p, now 25p. And more sausages. Wouldn't normally, but tempting. £1.43, now 36p. And I'm tempted to make a sausage casserole. A sausage casserole and maybe a toad in the hole. I've got a real hankering for a toad in the hole at the moment. So maybe that'll be on the listings. I've got so many eggs now. And the last thing I got, a smoked bassa fillet. Basically looks like a smoked haddock. And smells like one as well. Was £1.67, now 67p. So I shall be doing some kind of fish thing with that. I think I'm probably going to keep this one out. Been previously frozen, it says that. Blimey, farmed in Vietnam. Never saw that before. Anyway, so that's it. So I'll put a thing somewhere up there about how much I actually saved on that. Really low on veg again. No proper vegetables. We've got the vegetable soup kit, but no actual veg. But I've got enough in the cupboards and the fridge at the moment to see me through. Right. Sorry. Tuesday done. I've had enough. Speak to you soon. Usually when I go in to do my Tuesday evening cleans, there's nobody in the office, which is how I like it. But yesterday when I went in, the boss was still in the office. And I think he was there to get away from his wife. They got some builders in or something doing some work. He was like, I'm just keeping out the way. So he didn't leave until like 7 o'clock. So you end up making small talk, which I hate doing. And I have to do it on my Wednesday cleaning shift, which I'm on my way to now. But I'm used to that. I know that's going to happen because I know that they're there. But on the Tuesdays, I try to make sure I'm there late enough that I won't have to meet anyone. Because you kind of make the small talk and you're polite, but really you just want to get on with the job. And if you end up chatting, it eats into your time and you end up being there longer. And they're not paying you to be there to talk to them. But the boss particularly is a bit chatty. He would talk to me for blooming hours. So you have to kind of extract yourself from the conversation. Otherwise, you know, you could easily add another half hour on. And it's evening and it's late and, you know, I'd rather get the work done and get home. And he was talking about how he's the owner of the company and he founded it donkeys years ago. But he's kind of approaching retirement. And all the other people in the office are younger than him and they're trying to push him out. They're trying to push him into taking early retirement. And they've dropped a carrot in by saying they'll pay him a wage, like a salary, because he's still the owner of the company. But they want him out. and I think he's really hurt by that. But equally he's thinking, wow, early retirement and still being paid. And I said to him, you just need to, if you do decide to go, what are you going to do? What are you going to fill all those hours with? And he's like, I don't know. So I said, you need to make sure you sort that out, because I know when my dad retired, my dad didn't want to retire, and he hung on, and eventually I said, you've got to go, you're too old to be working here. I think he went to about 65, and then it got to the point where it was like, yeah, you've got to go now. So we tried to put all these plans into place so that he had plenty to do. All his friends had retired before him, and they were all golfers, so he took up golf and all this sort of thing. Because my mum was worried, he's going to be under my feet all day. And she was worried he was going to end up like all his friends. So they all retired, and they end up just sitting in chairs all day, festering in front of the TV, not doing anything. And you've got all these years to use. You spend your life putting your money, putting your spare wages into a pension, just so you can sit in front of a TV for the next 20 years. It's ridiculous. You want to get out and enjoy it. So they go on holidays, and they do their cruises, and they do all sorts of bits and pieces. But I wouldn't say they're active. There are a few health challenges which mean that they're not able to do as much as they'd like to. And now that there are 3 small grandchildren who live just over the road, they're quite busy with them, which is nice. They get to spend all that time with them, because my parents are older grandparents, because my brother had his children quite late. He was in his 40s. So they're playing catch up, really, because they won't be around when the kids are like teenagers and growing up and whatever. But they're not like busy. They're not travelling the world and stuff like that anymore. So yeah, I said to him, you need to think about what you're going to do. How are you going to fill your time? How are you going to be productive? Or are you just going to be a loose end who sits around all day with nothing to do? I said, I can't imagine ever retiring. I probably won't be able to, but we'll see. I can't predict what things are going to look like in 20 years' time. Say when I'm 70, 20 years' time. I don't know what that's going to look like. I might be in a wheelchair. I might be, I completely lost my marbles. I might be fit and healthy and still doing side hustles. Who knows? It's really hard to plan for absolutely everything. You do what you can. But I don't want to end up as one of these people who just sits around in a chair all day eating snacks and not doing anything. I already feel like I don't do enough every day, because I work from home, because I have lots of little side hustles and dipping into lots of little things and improving my money. But I'm not like gallivanting off around the world and doing lots of travelling and stuff like that, because I don't have the budget to do that. So I imagine retirement being exactly what I'm doing now, provided I have my health, which is doing all the little side hustles, bringing in money here, there and everywhere. If I can combine that with whatever semblance I have of a private pension and a state pension, I should tick along okay. But 20 years time, man, it's a long, long way away. Anyway, so Wednesday clean, small talk, 3 hours and it'll be over, which will be good. And then I'm nipping down to Tesco's, because I earned a Tesco's gift card from one of my survey companies, and I've got a freebie to pick up. So I'm going to go and sort that out afterwards, which will be nice. And then home. I'm early. I'm always early when I get here. 6 minutes early. Look at me. Look at me being all early. Oh God, hit the curb. Idiot. Early. So I'm just going to sit here and be early for a minute. Going to enjoy a moment of silence. Going to Tesco's. Ooh. Tesco shop done. Got my baking spread. And which was £1.90 for a kilogram. I used to only get two kilogram tubs for about £3.50, but they stopped doing them. Peanut butter was £2.55, which gram for gram works out cheaper. That's a 700. Is that 700? Yeah, 700 gram jar. That works out cheaper gram for gram. And I got this, which will be free. Another one of those puddings, and I've got to get that through on the app. So I also had a gift card, so that came to £5.85. There were multi-buy savings, total off 65p, which meant left to pay £5.20. I had a £5 gift card, which I earned through one of my survey sites the other day, so that means 20p to pay, and I'll get £1 back for the pudding. So I made an 80p profit on that Tesco shop. Isn't that good? So now I'm going to head home. Another Wednesday over. I always dread the Wednesdays because they're like the longest clean and the most amount of talking I have to do. But it does go relatively fast. And it's just basic housework. So I've learnt how to just take my time, because if you finish early, you have to stay because you're being paid to be there. So when they took me on, they always said, if you find you run out of things, just find something to do. So I did run out about 40 minutes before, and I just went round with one of those high-level telescopic dusters and did the tops of everything. Most of which didn't need doing, and some weeks I'll just go around and just do all the windows. And then some weeks, like next week, there'll be less time because I have to change all the beds and things. So it's just gauging how much you need to do, and there are some days where I just work really fast for no particular reason. I'm just in a fast mood, and the other days where I'm just really slow. Like last week I was really slow because I had a headache, one of those headaches coming on, and I just could not move fast that day. Anyway, That's Wednesday's actual work done. So I can now just go back and process everything on my spreadsheets. It's very uninteresting. But this is how it works. So now I've done that shop, I will go back and put that receipt into my spreadsheets, put all the spends and the savings into the spreadsheets, and it enables me just to keep track of everything. So I know what I've saved, I know what I've spent, I know what my budgets are. It's a discipline, and I know that's easy for me to do because I don't work a busy full-time job. I don't have kids to juggle, partners to juggle, other things to do. My time is really my own, so I've found a way that works really well for me, that allows me to keep on top of all this stuff. But I know that for a lot of people it's just like, oh my god, where on earth would I fit this into my life with everything else? And that's why I like to be very much in control of my life and know my limitations. Because I save a lot of money by doing things like this. But I realise that I can do that because I don't have a million other things to do. I almost accidentally went out in my pyjamas this morning. I got half dressed, so I've got my top half already changed. I did my going out jumper and whatever. And I was finishing off doing some stuff around the flat. And then I was like, right, I need to go out and do my errands this morning. The sun's out. And went put on my coat, looked down. Oh God, I've still got my fleecy pyjama bottoms on. Not that I think anyone would particularly notice around here. There seems to be a trend of people going to the supermarket in their PJs. A neighbour a few doors down, she goes over the road to the garage and she's got a dressing gown on. She's got nothing on her legs, but she's got over ankle socks and Crocs. It is so not stylish. Oh dear. Anyway, so that's my almost faux pas for the day. Nice to get out in the morning, get some fresh air, stretch my legs, get my steps in, drink my water. Just going to put the money into the bank from yesterday's clean. It's the only one I got cash from, and I need cash in the bank, so Thursday morning gets me out to the post office to do that. I say do the post office because they took all our banks away. We lost our last one last year, so the post office it is. So there's anything else to say this morning, really. The wind has gone. Bluish sky, sunshine. Not too cold. Thursday's alright. Catch you soon. I took my usual detour via the cafe on the way back from doing my errands. I seem to have sprung a leak in the high street. Wow, there was a lot of water. Anyway, so cafe. Mince pies again. They're down to 30p now, so I bought 2. And something else that they've been selling recently is toothpaste. The cafe is attached to a learning disability cafe support group next door, and they interconnect, and I think they sell stuff in there that's useful to people. These are down to 50p each, So I bought 2 today, and I bought three the last time I was in there. So I've probably got like a year's supply of toothpaste now for a few quid. And this, you know, toothpaste is expensive. Even the cheap one is like £1. So that's going to save me a few quid on some of my household stuff. So that was good. A quick thing to end today on. I've seen 5 insects this week. There's currently a little fly languishing on my bathroom shelf, and they weren't there a week ago. We had a real cold snap, as we do, and then suddenly it got a lot warmer, and I really hope that that hasn't triggered an early spring, because if we get another cold snap, everything that suddenly decided spring was here is going to die. I definitely have things sprouting in some of my pots outside, but they're things that tend to start early anyway. And I think we are due snow and a cold snap in February. And if we get lots of insects starting to emerge now, they're going to be killed off. Anyway, that's my thought to end this vlog on. I wanted to put something in as a final thing because I forgot on the last bit that I did to say thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you again soon. So I'm doing that now, and I thought I'd mention the insects. So thank you for watching, and I will talk to you again very soon.